It was a picture-perfect moment drenched in sunlight and the golden hues of nostalgia. Queen Margrethe II of Denmark, the revered monarch who stepped down from the throne with dignity and grace earlier this year, has once again stirred hearts and royal watchers alike, not through a regal decree or a state event, but in the most touching way imaginable. In a scene that could have been lifted from the pages of a fairy tale, Margrethe reunited with her two beloved sisters, Princess Benedikte of Denmark and Queen Anne-Marie of Greece, for their cherished summer tradition, a quiet, heartfelt meet-up that has become a royal ritual as enduring as the crowns they once wore. But this was no ordinary royal photo opportunity. It was a reunion of deep emotional layers, familial love, and history interwoven with shared memories only royal siblings could know. Against the tranquil backdrop of a Danish summer, surrounded by nature's serene beauty, the three sisters stood together, no longer bound solely by title or crown, but by an even deeper connection, sisterhood. Their smiles held secrets of a lifetime shared behind palace walls, whispered across royal halls, and protected through decades of both celebration and sorrow. For Queen Margrethe, this gathering carried a new kind of significance. It was her first summer meeting with her sisters since abdicating the throne after more than half a century as Denmark's sovereign. She is no longer queen in the constitutional sense, but in the hearts of her people, she remains a queen in every way that matters. Stepping into the role of Queen Emerita, Margrethe has gracefully transitioned into a quieter but no less meaningful chapter of life. And in this chapter, moments like this, surrounded by the people who know her best, hold more value than all the official honors of state. The royal trio has always held a special place in the hearts of Danes and royal enthusiasts across Europe. Princess Benedikte, known for her poised presence and dedication to cultural institutions, has long served as a dignified support to her sister, never seeking the spotlight yet always shining within it. Queen Anne-Marie, the youngest of the three, has led a life shaped by destiny, married off at a young age to King Constantine II of Greece, only to face the harsh fate of monarchy dissolved by referendum. But even in exile, Anne-Marie carried the grace of a queen, rooted in the traditions and upbringing of the House of Glucksburg. What makes this summer reunion so captivating isn't simply the elegance of the setting or the beauty of their coordinated pastel ensembles, it's the emotional weight these meetings now carry. Time is no longer on their side in the way it once was. They have seen the world change drastically since their childhood spent in the gardens of Amalienburg Palace. They have lived through war, constitutional reform, personal tragedy, and seismic shifts in the role of royalty. And yet, despite all the change, one thing remains unchanged: their bond. This summer's gathering was more than a royal get-together. It was a poignant symbol of resilience and familial strength. The sisters appeared at ease, sharing laughter and quiet moments that spoke volumes without a single word. Their body language told a story of mutual respect, deep affection, and a connection forged not only by birth but also by shared duty. They've all been queens in their own way, on thrones, in charity work, and in the hearts of their nations. The photo released by the Danish royal house captured them in a gentle embrace, sunlight spilling across their features, nature cradling them in a timeless frame. It was almost cinematic, and yet deeply real. No pomp, no palace, just three sisters who have walked extraordinary paths that intersect again and again in these summer traditions that, while informal, hold a kind of spiritual royalty that no crown can confer. For Queen Margrethe, whose artistic soul has always sought expression beyond the throne, this time of reflection must be immensely grounding. She has spent a lifetime under scrutiny, navigating Denmark's constitutional duties with a personal flair that made her one of Europe's most beloved royals. Her summer reunion with her sisters brings her back to something foundational, something raw and essential. In moments like this, Margrethe is not only the former monarch but the storyteller, the eldest sibling, the anchor. Her deep laugh echoes in the soft countryside, and her eyes, once shielded by the weight of the crown, now shimmer with clarity. There's freedom in this new phase. And perhaps this is where the essence of royalty truly lies, not in titles or public addresses, but in authenticity, legacy, and love. The choice to continue this summer tradition is, in itself, a quiet act of royal rebellion, against the passage of time, against the often isolating nature of royal life. In these meetings, the sisters reclaim their narrative, reminding the world that behind every royal title is a human story, a story of love, loyalty, and shared history. These gatherings have become an emotional anchor for the trio, especially as they grow older. It is here, amid sun-dappled landscapes and heartfelt conversations, that they remember who they were before the world watched their every move. They reminisce about their childhood games, their secret codes, the heartbreak of saying goodbye to their father, King Frederick IX, and the weighty responsibility thrust upon Margrethe when she was crowned at just 31. Through these private reunions, we glimpse something rare: authenticity within monarchy. The public adores the spectacle of royalty, the carriages, the diamonds, the processions. But what draws them in and makes them stay are these quieter moments, the unguarded smiles, the affectionate glances, the warmth between sisters who've lived more than most can imagine. This year's meeting also holds historical resonance. For the first time in decades, Margrethe meets her sisters not as the Queen of Denmark, but as a former monarch. And yet, nothing in the way she carries herself suggests anything less than sovereign strength. Her abdication in favor of her son, King Frederick X, was a masterclass in dignity and foresight, paving the way for a modern royal future while preserving the legacy she worked tirelessly to build. Benedikte and Anne-Marie, too, represent continuity and change. Together, the three sisters embody the evolution of European royalty, from rigid protocols to emotional transparency. They show us that royalty, at its best, is about service, connection, and tradition rooted in love. These images, while simple, are loaded with significance. They tell us that royalty is human, that even queens need their sisters, and that legacy is often passed not through edicts, but through embraces. As Margrethe enters this new chapter, surrounded by the unwavering love of her siblings, she steps not away from royalty, but deeper into its meaning. In a world hungry for authenticity, the sight of three royal sisters, weathered by time but undefeated by it, offers something pure and profound. They remind us that true royalty lies not in how loudly you reign, but in how deeply you love, how fiercely you hold on to your roots, and how gracefully you pass the torch. And so, the sun sets on another royal summer reunion, golden and unforgettable. As the sisters go their separate ways once more, we're left with a powerful image of unity, heritage, and enduring grace. The moment may be fleeting, but its impact is lasting, a quiet testament to the strength of sisterhood and the beauty of tradition held close, year after year. As Queen Margrethe, Princess Benedikte, and Queen Anne-Marie shared quiet smiles and unspoken memories, they also offered the world a subtle but powerful lesson in unity, aging, and the enduring role of family. It was not just a reunion, it was a visual narrative of legacy being lived out in real time. In an era where royals are often under intense scrutiny and pressure to modernize, these sisters reminded us that tradition still holds weight when rooted in genuine affection and time-honored rituals. The serene summer setting stood in beautiful contrast to the pressures each sister has faced over decades. From abdications to exiles, personal losses to national responsibilities, their lives have not been without turbulence. Yet their continued commitment to this annual gathering speaks volumes about what sustains them: love, loyalty, and the comfort of shared history. Margrethe's laugh, Benedikte's quiet strength, and Anne-Marie's gentle resilience formed a trio of emotional expression rarely seen so intimately in royal life. It's as though each woman reflects a different facet of their father's legacy and their royal lineage, all while forging her own path. As twilight settles over this royal summer scene, one truth becomes inescapably clear: no matter the titles or thrones, it is the enduring love between sisters that leaves the most indelible mark. In that one sunlit embrace, we saw not just three royals, but three daughters, three mothers, three women who have lived history and still choose, year after year, to come back to each other, not for the cameras, not for the public, but for the heart. What do you think this touching reunion tells us about the evolving legacy of Queen Margrethe and the powerful emotional depth of royal sisterhood? Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment if this story touched your heart.